breaking news this morning, a North Carolina congressman has just dropped his bid for re-election. Representative Chuck Edwards made the announcement on Facebook after sexual harassment allegations toward women on his own staff. The House Ethics Committee says it found substantial evidence that Edwards repeatedly made unwanted advances toward two female staffers. According to the report, Edwards was accused of acting inappropriately by sending personal texts late in the evening and buying lavish gifts for those staffers. In his announcement on Facebook, he wrote, "While my campaign is ending, my love for the people of Western North Carolina and my faith in America's future remain as strong as ever. Before I close, there is one group of people who deserve recognition beyond words, my staff." Edwards serves the state's 11th district, which is a large portion of our western counties bordering the WBTV area. He's been in Congress since 2023. He does deny any wrongdoing.